I will share details on how we can get started with Angular, how we can create single page applications using Angular. First we have to install Angular, and Angular itself provides a CLI in which you can execute the default commands that are made available by Angular. Some of those commands are ng-new, ng-generate, ng-serve, ng-build, and I will also share about the routing strategy. We'll discuss all these in this video. In the upcoming videos, we'll discuss about how we can deploy the Angular single page application in HTTP server, in Nginx container, in GitHub pages and AWS S3. Let's see how we can install Angular and then execute some of the Angular commands in the CLI. To install Angular, you can use this command. This will always pull the latest version of Angular and install it in your local npm registry. If you want to install specific version of Angular, you can use this command, specify the version here. If you want to uninstall Angular that is installed in your machine, you can use this command. You can go to this link to see what are the actively supported versions and the Node.js version that will be compatible with the Angular version. In our case, we will be working with 16.2. I have installed Node.js 18.10 in my machine. If you execute ng-new, it will create a new Angular workspace and initializes a default project. Let me execute this command. Let me have the name as default app. The workspace got created. We can also pass create application false flag to this ng-new command. If we pass this flag, it will create a new Angular workspace, but it will not initialize any default project within that. Let's try creating this workspace. You can see the same prompt which you noticed for ng-new command. I will add the name as no app. It did not ask for whether we need to create any routing module or we have to create CSS or SAS style sheets. Currently we are having default app workspace and no app workspace. Let's investigate the content of these two workspaces. One workspace is created using ng-new and another workspace no app is created using ng-new by passing the create application false flag. Let me open beyond compare. There is no src folder in no app workspace, but you can see the src folder in default app workspace. Let's investigate angular.json. The workspace name is default app and a project with same name as the workspace name is created here. Project's object is empty in angular.json for no app workspace. There is no tsconfig.app.json for no app workspace, but you can see that for default app workspace. If you notice here, two workspaces are created within a new directory, but if you want to create an Angular workspace in the existing directory, which is the programs directory itself, then you can use this command ng-new ---- directory pointing to the current directory. So far we have created a new workspace using this command. The workspace created using this command does not have any application within it. Let's create a new application using this command. I will go into no app workspace and ng is short form of ng-generate, and I will create a new application called Apple app. New application is created. Let's see what happened. If you notice here, a new folder projects got created here, and inside projects you can see Apple app application, and Apple app application contains the src directory, and src directory contains the application related codes. App directory has the root module, which is app.module.ts. Let's check the angular.json. Here we have an entry for Apple app and the project type is application. The project type can be either application or library. If you compare the folder structure of default app and no app, I would prefer the folder structure of no app because if you are working in a product development environment, you will for sure create multiple projects within a single Angular workspace. So having this folder structure is very helpful. Let me create another application within this no app workspace. I will name this application as ball app. The application is created. Let's check the folder structure. You can see another application got created below the app lab, and both the applications are under projects directory, and ball app has its own app module.ts. All the configuration required to build the ball app project is auto generated by the Angular CLI when we triggered the ng generate application command, and it is updated in our Angular workspace. This is how we can use this ng generate application command. You can go to this web page to check what are the different parameters that can be passed to this ng generate command. Now let's see how modules and components can be generated. This is the command to generate component, and this is the command to generate module. G stands for generate, C stands for component, and M stands for module. Let me trigger this command. We need to pass the project parameter here. Currently we have two projects called Apple app and ball app. I will pass Apple app. This component got created within the Apple app. Let's check the folder structure. You can see the home page directory here, and the component got created. Let's create a module. You can see the dashboard directory here, and within dashboard you can see a module. You can create additional component within this dashboard directory and link it to this dashboard module. Let's check the module that got generated now. We generated the module within the Apple app. Dashboard module got generated, and this is the code. This is the app module. You can notice that the dashboard module is not linked to the app module yet. App module.ts is the root module, and the dashboard module is like a child module. In this command you would notice that we are passing a new module name, and we will also pass a root module name. By passing this root module name, we will be linking the new module with the root module. Let's see how this command works. I will change the name. We'll create a module called about, and we'll also pass this parameter. Let me check once. Yeah, I will pass the root module name, which is appmodule.ts. Let me check the code. You can see that about module entry is present under imports here, and the about module got created here. If you want to lazy load the newly created module instead of adding it in the root module, then you can pass this route parameter. This command is same as the above command which we just executed, but it has the route parameter in addition. Let's pass the route parameter and see what happens. I will create a new module name. I will call it as sports. I will pass sports in the route parameter. It's asking for a module name. Let me pass the module name. In this log you can see that it has created sports routing module and sports module, and it has also updated the app routing module.ts. Let's check the code. Sports, you can see the components which got created, and we have the sports module. We have sports routing module as well. Let's check the app routing module. Here the sports route is being lazy loaded, so this command auto generated all the code. Standalone components were introduced in Angular 14. Currently we are using Angular 16. Let's execute this command and see how it works. I will create a component with name analytics. We'll pass the parameter as standalone, and project name will be AppLab. Analytics component got created, and we can see this value here. Let's look at ngserve and ngbuild commands. ngserve, it will launch the app in development mode. Let's execute the command. We need to specify the application name, and we can add the watch flag. Let me open in incognito mode. We have launched the application. Let me remove the boilerplate code. This is the output. You can see that hot reloading is available by default. We have to include the watch parameter along with ngserve to have this hot reloading feature. Let's add the standalone component in our routes. We have added such standalone component in the routes, and you can see the value getting printed. Let's add the logic to switch between sports route and the default route. Now we are able to switch between the default route and sports route. Let's try building the app. You can see the build files under a dist folder and the application name. These are the files that got generated. We can pass one additional parameter to ngbuild, which is base href. Let's see how it works in the upcoming video. Let's discuss about routing strategy. We have hash based and history based routing strategies. If you enable hash based routing strategy, your URL will have hash. Any Angular applications will have multiple features, and each feature will be exposed through routes. The name of the routes will come after the hash if you enable hash based routing. If you enable history based routing, then there will not be any hash in your URL as it is shown here, but you need to update the server configuration. Hash based routing works by default in any server. In case of history based routing, we need to make some changes in the server configuration. In the upcoming videos, we will learn how to deploy the Angular single page application in HTTP server, Nginx container, GitHub pages, and AWS S3. Since hash based routing works by default everywhere, we will not discuss about that, but we will enable history based routing in our Angular application and deploy it in all these environments and see how it works.